What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video this time. We've not done it for a couple of weeks. We're going to be doing the Manchester City latest news. So we're going to crack over everything that's happened with Man City in the last couple of weeks, basically whilst I've been away and that little period just before I went away. So first thing that was announced is the dates for the new Premier League fixtures have been announced. On Thursday, June 13th, the new 2019-2020 Premier League fixtures will be announced. So that is one to mark for your calendars. We will find out who we will start the season off against and end the season, and be able to have all the talking points for next season, which will start June 13th. Now, Manchester City are in Champions League action. We won 4-3 at home against Tottenham. However, it meant it finished 4-4 on aggregate, and we went out on away goals. Llorente's potential handball and Raheem Sterling's last-minute winner, which was chalked off with VAR, being the big talking points. It means that there is no Q word, which I've said for quite a while has always been quite impossible. The league is just far too demanding over here in England to be able to allow you to compete on all four fronts. It can't be done. However, on three fronts it has been done before and can be done, and so that has to be our aim. And with that, it means Tottenham's now got a match against Ajax, first leg being this midweek, and then you've also got the Barcelona match up against Liverpool, two English sides competing there, whilst Manchester City have their attentions turned to the Premier League and also the FA Cup final coming up in just a couple of weeks' time. And speaking of that FA Cup, Manchester City will provide free coaches for fans to go to the FA Cup final as a thank you to all the fans for their support for this season. 26 senior players are going to chip towards it, which means there's going to be 26 coaches, which will be free. However, they have said that if there is going to be more demand, that they'll put more free coaches on too. Well, that's a lovely touch. However, the free coaches have now sold out, and yet the tickets for the FA Cup final are still going through their sales criteria, and so fans wanting to get to the Wembley match for free can't unless the club decide to put on more free coaches. So I'm not too sure if they're going to do that or not. We'll have to wait and see. They said that they would. One thing saying that they will, it's another actually doing it, so we'll have to wait and see for that one. Now, another pre-season match for Manchester City has been announced. Manchester City are going to face Kitchee Sports Club in Hong Kong on July 24th before we end up heading to Japan as part of our Far Eastern Asia tour this summer, coming soon. So that's something to look forward to. Manchester City, if you're a Man City fan or you're heading out to Hong Kong or you're living in Hong Kong, you'll be able to watch us against Kitchee Sports Club on July 24th. Now, Leicester in the penultimate game of the season has now been moved, if you wasn't aware. Liverpool and Tottenham have now taken priority because they're in the Champions League. We was meant to be playing on May 4th, Star Wars Day, 12:30 PM. It's now going to be played on May 6th, which is a bank holiday over here in England on Bank Holiday Monday, with an 8 PM kickoff. I find it quite disgusting that they've already announced it for television. Fans, particularly the Leicester fans, and I've seen quite a few Manchester City fans coming from here, there, and absolutely everywhere for this last game of the season at home against Leicester, booked all their trips, paid all their money, because it's been announced for the match that it's going to be on that date, as the early kickoff announced for television, that it's now been moved because they want Liverpool and Tottenham to go first. It's a mess. I can understand from the situation of television wanting to try and prioritise Champions League, as if Man City were in the semi-final, I'd want Manchester City's matches to be put as priority for the Champions League to give us the best chance possible. I see no reason, though, why I don't understand why the Liverpool game's on television, but why the Tottenham game's on television against Bournemouth, why that couldn't just be a 3 o'clock kickoff because it has to be moved and Man City's match with Leicester stays the same. I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. I found it quite disgusting. I feel real sorry for the fans there that are heading to that game that's already planned everything, and I'm hoping that whoever's in charge of making that decision, whether that'd be the board, whether that'd be Manchester City agreeing to it or not, whether that'd be the Premier League making a decision, whether it's Sky Television making the decision, I don't really know. All I know is that no one really gives a fuck about the fans, and I find that really sad, if I'm honest. Excuse my language. Now, Manchester City was in Premier League action. We won 1-0 against Tottenham, which meant momentarily at that time we moved back into first. It did come as a price, though, as Kevin De Bruyne has picked up an injury which may well see him now out until the end of the season, which is sad. However, we did get to see Phil Foden start in this game because of that, and we also saw Phil Foden score the only goal, and his first Premier League goal for Manchester City, as Man City we grinded out a win, a much needed response to us going out of the Champions League by beating Tottenham at home. I can't even put into words just how much mental strength was needed to get over such a highly physically demanding game in the Champions League, to be able to recover, keep a clean sheet and win that game, and be able to set your mind into motion of wanting to win the next big prize, which is the Premier League. Now Liverpool, they also got a good away win against Cardiff 2-0, which meant they went back into first momentarily and went 2 points clear of City, but 6 goal difference behind Manchester City. That was with just 3 games to go before we headed into that match at Old Trafford, which I'll get to in a moment. However, we've got more news. Sad news this one. Former Manchester City manager Billy McNeil, he's died at the age of 79. He managed Manchester City between 1983 and 1986. Condolences to all his friends and families there at this difficult time. And I'd like to say from everyone here at JSGC, rest in peace to Billy. Now, Manchester City were in action in the Manchester derby, away at Old Trafford. 2-0 Manchester City. Our game in hand. Liverpool didn't play. Obviously, we had a game in hand to make up against them. Second half goals from Bernardo Silva and Leroy Sané. It meant that Manchester City go back first, staying first, I will add. We've scored 157 goals this season. That's not to be taken lightly. It's the most that they've ever done, and we're playing some absolutely incredible football. It meant now that we have a narrow 1-point lead over Liverpool. It means that the matches, difficult matches against Spurs and Manchester United, on paper, our most difficult fixtures, were done, and we're heading into matches against Burnley away, Leicester at home and Brighton away. We'll talk about the Burnley match in just a moment. However, we've had some awards given out this week. 6 Manchester City players, they were named in the PFA Player of the Year, including Ederson in goal, Laporte, Fernandinho, Bernardo Silva, Raheem Sterling and Sergio Aguero. So well done to them. Huge congratulations to them on this very successful season. And I feel like all of our team has had a very successful and great season, and it's nice to see some recognition right there. Now in the Championship, Norwich have been promoted back to the Premier League, which means we'll be playing them at least twice next season. We'll be going back to Carrow Road. Well done to Norwich. Not an easy division to be able to get out of the Championship, and so Manchester City will be welcoming Norwich to the Etihad Stadium, and we'll be heading to Carrow Road. And we've also, because of the Leeds result against Aston Villa finishing 1-1, it meant that Sheffield United have also been promoted, so we'll be heading back to Bramall Lane for the first time I think in 12 years, as Sheffield United will be also coming to the Etihad. I've been to Sheffield, very nice place. Been to Bramall Lane 2 away, very nice ground. Looking forward to visiting there. That'll be a couple of good trips to Norwich and Sheffield United, and well done to them on their promotions. Now in the awards, Manchester City women's footballer Georgia Stanway, she has won the Women's Young Player of the Year, so congratulations to Georgia on that prestigious award. And Steph Houghton has also won the PFA Merit Award. Well done to Steph on that. She's the first woman to win this award since its introduction, in the 1970s, so well done to her. And Steph Houghton was also named in the Women's Team of the Season, with Manchester City defender Demi Stokes and the attacker Nikita Parris also being named in the Team of the Season. So well done to all the ladies there on their hard work. And last but not least, with the awards, Raheem Sterling won the PFA Young Player of the Year, even though he's 24. He was 23 at the beginning of the season, which means that he does qualify for this award. And he was also been named the Football Writers Player of the Season too, as Virgil Van Dijk took home the PFA Player of the Season. So well done to all Manchester City players on their outstanding seasons, both women and men's. Now last but not least in the news, Manchester City did face Burnley after Liverpool thumped Huddersfield 5-0. Meant they closed the goal difference right down to just 3. Manchester City picked up a narrow 1-0 victory after a 29mm goal, I think it was, over the line from Sergio Aguero in the second half. Meant Manchester City picked up a very good win away from home at Turf Moor against Burnley, who were already safe, which now means Manchester City are 1 point clear. We're heading into the final 2 games of the season. Liverpool are in Champions League action. They've got 2 games against Barcelona, sandwiched between a game difficult at St James's Park, whereas Manchester City are taking on Leicester on Monday night. It means that if Liverpool lose against Newcastle, if that was to happen, and Manchester City beat Leicester, we win the Premier League this Monday. If Liverpool drop points and Manchester City beat Leicester on Monday, then it means that we're on the grasp of glory there, and we're ahead of 3 points with a superior goal difference going into the last game against Brighton. More than likely though, I'd expect Liverpool to be beating Newcastle. If I'm honest, City lost at St James's Park, but I'd expect Liverpool to be winning every single game between now and the end of the season. You've got to expect that, which means we just need 2 more wins, 2 more big cup finals coming up in the Premier League. Lots to look forward to, lots to talk about in the next episode of Manchester City Latest News, and so we'll have that coming up for you next week. So there we go, that has been the video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a big thumbs up, make sure you subscribe if you are new around here and you're enjoying the content. Help support my channel, press the bell and put your push notifications on to be kept in the loop and also up to date with all things Manchester City. If you are interested and you want to keep up to date with my social media links, they're in description below, as well as popping up on screen my Twitter and Instagram, where I'll keep you up to date with everything happening with JSGC on Instagram and everything that's happening with football and Manchester City on Twitter. If you want to go and follow me on there, games and numbers on there would be much appreciated, along with a big gains in numbers on this channel too. At the moment, we've passed 2,600 subscribers, so thank you everyone for the support. So let's try and get to 2,700 as quickly as possible. So there we go, it's been the video. I hope you'll have a wonderful rest of your day. It's been JSGC. Peace. Ciao for now.